Okay, so for the questions and answer portion of this town hall, um, I'm going to ask our technical director if there's any questions. Actually, I can just pull up the computer here and I can just roll them. So one second. We got quite a little hiccup, so it's supposed to go a little bit differently. 1 moment, please. All right. Yes, there are some questions. I guess while I'm sifting through this, are there any questions of the audience in the room? Please. And just to restate, I'm going to ask the questions in the microphone for the people on Zoom, and that's has Parkville considered year-round schooling due to COVID?
The answer is because of our summer school program is so robust. This year we had over 5,500 students in our summer school program in the month of June. And then we also offered a second program because we wanted to make sure that students that may have had educational lags last year had an opportunity, particularly in the area of reading and math at the elementary level. We offered a special program for them. And so we really feel like that is driving that. And it's almost year-round school at this time, if you want to know the truth. At this time, we don't have the online school. I mean, the full year-round school piece. The way that frankly, the way the funding is set up in the state of Missouri is you are paid for your regular school year. And so we follow within that category. Then you're paid separately for your summer school options. And so that's why they're listed differently. Summer school in the state of Missouri is not a requirement versus what is during the regular school year. So I think a lot of it is going to go back to just what is the state going to fund? It would be the same response that I would have around early childhood about expanding that and what is early childhood going to look like in the future. I think those are conversations they're having at the legislature right now around early childhood. You may remember a few years ago that, kindergarten was added, in the 60s, 70s, somewhere in there. I think it's an interesting piece. Even if you look at kindergarten in the state of Missouri, kindergarten is currently not required. It's required to come to school at the age of 6 in first grade. And so I think it's fascinating that over time, kindergarten has just become a standard and everybody sends their child. But I think we need to get a few of those things in place in order to expand our programs out. I don't know if it's against or not against. I think we still are locked into what I would call the agrarian calendar. And our families enjoy their summers and they enjoy their time as we do that. And so I think it's just a different look as it would play out. It also just now the way the system's set up would change how you would do, for example, your sports they're all connected with each other and the other schools. So I think if all the schools went in that direction, and then I think we could do that and provide that opportunity. But I think there's other opportunities that we can do within our school that would help our students.
Thank you, Sally. We have a question on Zoom for for Kristen from the Parkville Coffee House, and that is, what is the impact of the growth in downtown Parkville over the last few years? Do you have more street traffic, for example? No, you can take it. It should be all right.
It's definitely been significant. I mean, everybody has seen the growth that downtown Parkville has experienced, and they said over the last 3 years. So I've been, with the shop since 2012. So I've seen a lot of businesses come and go and grow, and the attitude that we have at the shop is we're excited. The atmosphere downtown is very energetic right now, and it's exciting to be a part of that. And the community is, we all grow together. So when I see other businesses thrive, we thrive. So I kind of always, we always try to reach out as business owners to the other business owners and see what we can do to lift each other up, because the success of others is my success. And so, yeah, I have definitely seen a lot more foot traffic. COVID definitely had its challenges, and we had to do a lot of pivoting for our community. But ultimately, it's been really, really exciting downtown. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on
Sure.
that. A great story I heard from Kristen was about the opening of the other coffee shop downtown. And I was asking her, how has that impacted your business? And she gave the best response. It was, you know, I like competition. I want people to have choices of where to go so that when they come into Parkville Coffee, we know they want to be here. And I just love that answer. It really speaks to, I think, how you want to serve the community and how you want the community to have what they desire, right? And not just whatever they can get. So
exactly.
So I think that's a great way to look at it, and it really helped me to think of Parkville Coffee as a community coffee shop and not just a coffee shop.
Yeah, thank you.
And so I had a question for Eric. In terms of sports rivalries, are there any schools, teams, or sports that are particular rivals to the Park University Pirates so that we can help cheer on our team through those games?
One of the challenges of speaking through the mask is you can't see my grin underneath my mask. It's evolved over the years just based on choices that schools have made in terms of moving to different conferences. Let me give you a longer answer than a short answer. And so what I didn't tell you when I was talking about the prowess of our sports, one of the things we're most proud of is that it's a diverse student athlete population, including international diversity. And one of the most challenging things we've experienced as an athletic department, as a university, is xenophobia on the road. And so we've had rivals, one in particular that we won't play anymore because of the way our international student athletes were treated by their fans. So, I mean, we believe in our student athletes and there's lines that we won't cross. That being said, in terms of where we are now, Baker University is a pretty big rival. They recruit in the Parkville School District, so we're challenging them for student athletes. I think what's going to be, it's a new conference for us, but Benedictine College is not that far away. You get on 45 highway and all of a sudden you're in Atchison. I think they're definitely going to be a rival for us, but it means a lot to our student athletes because not all of them are from the Kansas City area. The ones from the Kansas City area are really fortunate their parents and relatives can come. The ones that are coming from different parts of the country, or even more so coming from, say, a Brazil or from Kenya to see people in the stands when their families can only watch online, that means a lot. So any support we would definitely appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. We'll share all the links too on this video and on our website, and you'll definitely see some promotions for those sports because it's kind of near and dear to me.
If I could add one more thing, we've been, Dr. Coward and I were talking on the side about COVID, and there's a lot we don't know and what to expect this fall. They went through, let's just call it an interesting year in 2021. We went through an interesting year, which included no spectators at most of our games. But if you think historically, and we're in a church that has witnessed a lot of history, has experienced a lot of history. We've had students that have served this country since the Spanish-American War, that survived the Spanish flu, that survived the Great Depression. And so, yeah, it seems like things are challenging for us. But if you look at the perspective, this school district has been through a lot. Where Parkville Coffee is right now survived a pretty awesome, in a negative way, flood in 1993. We're all going to overcome. It's just going to be a question of pulling together, doing the right things, making the right decisions, whether it's for our customers or in our cases for our students. And we're going to be stronger for it in the future.
Thank you. We do have another question here online, but I wanted to just ask if there were any questions in the audience at this time.
One, and this is for each panelist, just in the spirit of bringing communities together, if you could, or if you saw an area where the community could be more helpful to your mission, what might you encourage the audience to take away with you?
Just to restate that, and then we'll just go down the line here, if you don't mind starting.
Sure.
The question was, in the spirit of community and organizations and engagement, how can the community support the efforts of each of your respective organizations?
That's a really, really great question. And thank you for asking it. For us, it's just continual support, and not necessarily in just dollars, but also word of mouth. And especially in this time of COVID, I've decided to take, a very better safe than sorry approach to the pandemic with my business. And I feel like we've been more conservative with protocols. We've been more strict, I guess you could say, with protocols concerning it, because my decision making process was always community first. And even though there may be some people that the pandemic doesn't affect as much as others, we still have those others in our community that are vulnerable that we do need to protect. And so we have gotten quite a bit of, you can go and look at our Google reviews. We've gotten a lot of backlash just because of how political this pandemic has been made. But we've also gotten a lot of community support. Sometimes it feels like the negativity is louder than the support, but whenever the support is there, and we definitely have a very awesome community that does show up, it speaks volumes. So I think even just hearing one person say, thank you so much for, we kept our mask mandate for quite a long time. Thank you so much. My son is immunocompromised and we feel safe coming here. Just hearing that from one person, it makes it all worth it to me. So I think probably, just support from the community continuously all around is the only thing that we ask for.
Thank you. I think we have multiple different ways in Park Hill that you can support us. Of course, our education foundation would be one, I would say, as we go forward with clothing center, being a part of our community, just coming to the events and watching the students, whether they're on the field, they're performing. We have amazing, our arts department is amazing, our fine arts department, and I would encourage you to do that. But I really would like to piggyback on what Kirsten said, because I think it's true. I guess mine would just be, if we're going to err, let's err on the side of kindness as we do this. And I think that is just such a key piece for us, because I think it's easy to be on the outsides on either side of this piece, but the hard work, and I keep saying this over and over, it's in the middle. And so coming together in the middle to solve these problems together identifies the blind spots, but also identifies the needs on both sides. And so how do we do that? And I think that is just through, I think the term I would use is one of my Board of Education's, one of their norms is just, if we would just use best intentions, we would assume good intentions instead of just assuming and hearing a sound bite and making a judgment. And so I think if we can do that as a community and lead the way and actually model that for my students and for our young ones, I think that would be tremendous.
Wow, what do I say now? So our mission at Park is transforming lives by providing access to quality higher education. And so we have a responsibility on campus, but there's an opportunity for the community to engage. There's this great Missouri road called 9 Highway or Highway 9, depending on your vernacular, that cuts between the church and our property. And you'd be surprised over the 20-something years I've worked at Park, how many people I talked in the community who have never made a left turn or a right turn to get on campus. They every day back and forth, they just keep driving past. Oh, that's a beautiful campus. You make that left turn on, or you make that right turn on, depending on that perspective, you're going to meet some amazing people that may be the first in their families ever to attend a college class, that are passionate about making a difference in the world, whether they decide they want to open up a coffee house or write a novel or serve in a nonprofit, or as many of our students do, teach in the Park Hill School District. There's an opportunity for community to be mentors. There's opportunity for community to provide jobs. There's opportunity for community members just to engage. And our campus is open, at least knock on wood, it's open right now. So we invite everybody on board.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, we got a question come in for Dr. Cowherd. With the growth rate in Park Hill School District historically, do you anticipate additional schools being built in the next few years? And if so, where?
I love those loaded questions. Those are always great to have in there. That's the number one question. But I think as we do this, we do have a plan that's already in place that our board has been following for several years. So we have an enrollment-based long-range facility plan, and we have key points that we're looking for on enrollment dates. And so when enrollment hits certain numbers, that is the time that would tell us it's time to build more schools. And so that really would be the key piece of that. And I think it's a fascinating thing because you can do two things when you're talking about construction of new facilities. You can either use growth, you can either use projected growth or actual growth. And we have chosen to do actual growth. And so basically it really is the back ends and the seats before we build. And so that's why you'll see mobile units around our campuses from time to time. And we've got them right now. I'll be honest with you. We've got them at Union Chapel. I have them at Hawthorne. I have them at Chin. I have them at Parkville High School. I have them at Renner. We have lots of that because we do see that growth. And it's not just student enrollment growth that we're looking at. We're also looking at programming, whether it's our gifted program, for our special education program, our English learners program, whatever those programs we have, those all take space also. And so those are key pieces. And so as we do that, we will look at that. As far as where in the future, we don't have that located at this time. And when we do, we'll announce that to the public. I think it's a fascinating thing in the Parkville area. And I think if you talk to any developer here, land is expensive here. It's an important, it's a piece. And I grew up on a farm. I'm kind of a farm girl. And so I'm used to price per acre and it's price per square foot in the Parkville School District. And so it's an interesting piece that we have. And we have interesting topography here too. And so it creates a beautiful opportunity when you're done, but also a wonderful challenge when you start. So we'll communicate that out when we have more information.
Awesome. I think she's heard questions like that before.
Never in my life.
An excellent answer. And yeah, those resources, those master plans, those projection guides that are hidden in websites that we don't look at often, you know, those are some of those gems. And, you know, the schools have them, the cities have them, and those are resources that we hope to kind of make a little bit more accessible to our community because they are there and hard work has gone into planning and making those. And sometimes there's just a little bit of a gap between the plans and the community. And so I want to circle back, and unless there were any other questions, I didn't see any more online, and I don't believe there are any in the audience. And so we're gonna wrap up here, and I just wanted to circle back and really highlight the ways that we've heard to discover, explore, and engage our community and others in our community and ourselves, and explore our own journeys. And Parkville can facilitate that. And the Parkville Living Center is here to help with that as well. If you have any questions, ideas, or inspirations towards community, not sure where to go, where to start, how to begin these conversations, that's what the Parkville Living Center aims to be. So yeah, thank you all for your attendance. We're right at our hour mark, so we did what we said we were going to do, and we thank you for your thoughtful and honest questions, for having this very civil discussion that helps to explore the individuals and organizations that make up our community, and we encourage these conversations to continue as you leave this space. In fact, I'll be going out to the crack to have a drink or two. If anyone wants to come and join and continue these conversations, we can do that there. All are welcome. And as we leave, let's keep in mind the mission of the Parkville Living Center and know that a place like this exists here in our community. And that's to celebrate and make space for the spirit of love in our community. So thank you all for attending, and have a good night.
I was gonna tell you.